So I'm here at the Edinburgh International Film Festival, and with me tonight are Daniel Jerome Gill and Philip Gawthorne, who just presenting their new film Modern Life is Rubbish here in Edinburgh. So you two did a short film of the same title, 2009. I just watched it this morning in preparation for this interview, and I really could see that it already had the potential for a full feature-length film.
Great.
And here we are now, just a couple of hours before the premiere, world premiere actually.
That's right.
Can you tell me a little bit about the journey from the short film to the feature film?
Sure. So we made the short film in 2009, and then after the screening, after the sort of success of the short film, it got into over 35 film festivals across the world. Many people were asking, do you want to make this into a film festival, a feature film? And Phil and I were discussing it, and we were approached to make it into a feature. And Philip wrote the feature, and it got on something called the Brit List, which is the top 35 film scripts voted by the British film industry. And then from that, we gained attraction with Universal Pictures and various other financiers, and produced the film about a year and a half ago.
Okay. I really like the idea of telling a story through sorting out their CD collection at the end of the relationship. And at the beginning, when you wrote the story, what was first? Did you wrote the story revolving around the songs, or did you work?
Yeah, I mean, well, the origin of the idea came from a writing exercise, and we were given this. I was a playwright at the Royal Court Theatre's Young Writers Programme. They had an exercise that was write like a scene inspired by a song, and you could pick a song. And I picked With or Without You by U2, which was sort of a timeless song. So the initial inspiration was trying to capture that mood, the idea of those conflicting feelings within, and those powerful feelings within a relationship. So I came at it from more of an emotional standpoint initially, but then it evolved into a discussion about music and about where we're at with our relationship to music as people, and how technology has changed that over the course of the last sort of 15 years. So that was the kind of spark for the initial idea.
Yeah. And the title Modern Life is Rubbish comes from the second album of Blur.
That's right.
What made you decide to take this as the title of the film?
It was sort of just a theme, it dealt with the theme of our relationship with technology, and the sort of loss of romance in a way that comes from just clicking on your iTunes or downloads, and I think people miss a bit of the tactility. So that was where I came from initially, and then Dan, sort of built on a lot of the themes, and we developed it together. So
yeah, I think the argument of the film, if you like, is modern life is rubbish. I think that's what Phil and I tried to try and project in the film and in the script. And throughout the film, I think there's an argument as to whether the pros and cons of modernity.
That's true, because one of the things that it isn't just, by no means is it a pessimistic movie, it's actually a very optimistic movie. I think it takes a fair-handed argument on that topic, because there are things, there's other ways to say, well, we're in a world where there's viral, people can be discovered instantly through viral that wouldn't necessarily have had that access 10 years ago. So there is an upside to technological changes in the music industry as well. As some of the quote unquote negatives.
I think, and true to life as well. I think the internet and technology is great for so many things, and sometimes not good for some other things. You know what I mean? It's very balanced.
Yeah, you put a lot of creative and thought-provoking things into the story, and I really like that. For example, I like how you explain that the best of album is just cheating on a band, or like cheating on a band. How did you come up with this?
Well, I guess the music purists would argue. I mean, I think of the Beatles, or thinking of concept albums, from the '60s, where it's a very specific idea and mood, and that idea of taking an album on vinyl and listening to the whole thing and it being like almost focal point of your evening has sort of become lost in, you know, in our kind of quick fix, like, well, they just give me the greatest hits so I can get on with my life and just slap it on in the car or wherever. Or
an album's like a journey.
Yeah,
an
absolutely.
Album, you know, you start and it takes you on a journey, and greatest hits albums don't do that. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, Sgt. Pepper's, for example, you know, was one of the best journeys you've ever gone on in your life. And you know, if you put all the best Beatles tracks together, you wouldn't. Some great music, but you never. Well,
it's a totally different experience, and I think that's sort of what the point that we were kind of making.
So, do you both have any musical background?
I am a hopeless musician. My only musical, you know, vague stab at any kind of musical talent would be just attend a drunken karaoke at 3 a.m. Other than that,
you've got quite a good voice, actually.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
I play a few songs on the guitar. I mean, I've got a guitar and I play a few songs. I think I'm right in saying that, you know, Phil and I just are both massive music fans. You know, we listen to a whole spectrum of different, you know, songs and artists, and we love music. You know?
Yeah, I think you can feel that in the world we can.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think today it's very hard to get a film financed, especially when you're a first-time filmmaker or first-time director. What about this film? Was it a struggle or was it easygoing?
I spent a lot of days begging, you know, in various alleyways, you know. It's. I mean, in seriousness, it's hard making an indie movie, you know, on any budget. I think nowadays, we had you know, Philip did an excellent job on the script, so that always was a wonderful starting point where we had a really good script that people loved. I had a short film which hopefully showed that I can get performances out of actors. What I did was I created a lookbook which had something like, I don't know, 400 images in it with my sort of tone and style of how I saw the movie. And I think that helped a lot because people were able to understand the vision of the film. But yeah, it was a struggle getting the finance. I mean, you know, we had people on board, and then, you know, things change, and then you have to get new people. But on the whole, you know, we were lucky to get it actually.
Yeah. And where did you shoot the film? I think it was London, right?
Yeah, we shot the film in mainly East London. It was all shot in London, various points of London. I mean, the other thing about the film is we shot it in 5 weeks, and it was probably, I need to speak to the location manager, but I think it was over 50 locations in 5 weeks.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you I don't know. Phil wrote these, you know, London Zoo, Greenwich, East London, Abbey Road. You know, that zebra crossing at Abbey Road is the busiest zebra crossing in the world. You know what I mean? If you turn up there any time, even on a Sunday, there's 1 million tourists trying to get that iconic Abbey Road shot, you know, and it was a real struggle. But we had a really good location team, and you know, we prepared really well, and we shot it very quickly.
Yeah, and there's no one around in that scene.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. How you did that? So.
Well, we shot it on a Sunday morning.
Okay.
And there were still, you know, 50 tourists there. And we actually used visual effects to take some people out. Yeah. So that's how we did it.
Yeah. I just read that you secured a deal with Universal for that film, but it's just about the home entertainment.
Yeah, we got a distribution deal for various territories of the world. Not all the territories of the world with Universal. And there are other territories that, you know, that we have deals, which we can't say in this interview, but we're gonna get a, you know, a world distribution. So
can you tell me anything about Germany? Is it planned?
I think Germany may be Universal actually. I think so. Yeah.
But does it get a theatrical release?
I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. I think it may do, but I don't know.
Okay.
It's definitely will get released on home entertainment, but
okay.
I don't know.
I had to tell them they should pick it up for the cinema.
Oh, thank you.
Talk to the producer.
Yeah, make it happen, Michael.
Tonight, in just a couple of hours, the film will have its world premiere, as I said earlier. Are you nervous or excited?
We're really excited.
Yeah, bit of both. You know, I mean, I hope, and I think, you know, from our experiences with the short, it seems to be a film that audiences respond to and connect with. You know, because it's relatable. So I'm just sort of hoping that they'll laugh in the right places and, you know, go on a kind of uplifting emotional journey. You know, so.
I mean, I think it's a hard film to dislike, but I don't know because, you know, I'm too close to it, you know. I mean, you've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I love it.
So, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm hoping that, as Phil said, it's an audience movie. This, you know what I mean? It's for the audience. So, let's just hope they turn up tonight and that they like it. You know?
It was actually my first film of the festival.
Oh, right. Okay.
And what better way to
start the festival?
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
When you look back on the film and the process of making it, what was the biggest struggle or the biggest surprise?
I mean, really, you know, on this level of film, I mean, every day is pretty much a struggle, you know. You know, the resources are small and the ambitions are big, and you know, it is difficult making a film. I think, you know, like Modern Life is Rubbish at a certain budget. I think a lot of kind of indie movies or lower budget films, they normally take place in like 3 locations or one house or something. You know, we were really ambitious on this film, and you know, it's testament to the cast and crew. You know, how we actually got there and how we did it, because you know, each day was difficult. You know, for those reasons. I'm sure if you had 200 million, you know, to make a movie, it'd still be difficult. You know.
Yeah. Would you have done anything different if you had, let's say, an unlimited budget?
Yes. Yeah, I would have done things differently. You know, some things differently. But I also, it's my first movie, so it's a learning curve as well. You know, and I need to go through those lessons as a first-time film director. So, you know, with that knowledge now, you know, I can bring that to the next project. You know, yeah, if I had a bit more cash, I would have done a few other things that I could have done. You know.
Okay. Are you taking the film to any other festivals?
We're out to a couple of festivals at the moment. We're waiting to hear back from you know, the submission.
There's a wonderful festival back in my hometown in Hamburg in October. You should apply for that.
I'd love to. Yeah.
I think it would fit perfectly
Really?
into the festival.
Do you know the festival organisers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe after this we can talk to the producer and they can send him a link. You know.
Yeah. Let's get back to the film. How did you find your 2 main actors?
So I auditioned them. You know, I wanted to try and find some fresh talent, and I spent a long time auditioning many actors and many actresses, and certainly with Liam, I really wanted to find somebody who could act and who could also was a musician as well, because I think it's very hard to fake being a musician. You know, you can't just learn the guitar in a month. You know, it takes years, and you can see people that don't know how to play the guitar and try and mimic how to play the guitar. They kind of hold the guitar like a baby, you know what I mean? And they don't have that presence. So it was very important for me to find somebody who could sing, who could play, and who could act as well. And we were just so lucky to find Josh. I mean, he kind of came in and he was just brilliant. And he's in a band, you know, he's got his own band, and he's such a great energy to have as well. And Freya and Josh actually, and I hope you agree from the film, they just had a wonderful chemistry, and they really became great friends by the end of the film. And you know, I think as every film director just prays for that to happen, you know, because I imagine some films are not like that.
And what made you decide not to go on with the actress on the short film?
I mean, the issue was that Rafe, I don't know exactly how old he is now, but I thought it would be a little bit difficult to play somebody who has to be sort of 20 years old, you know what I mean? And what's great about Josh and Freya is that they hit that 24 mark, so they can play 20 and then they can play 30. You know, the film takes place over 10 years. So I think for that reason, and also I think, you know, we just felt that we wanted to kind of start fresh, you know, here's the short, here's the feature, you know what I mean? And that was one of the really key reasons as well.
Yeah. I just recently heard a quote from a German TV host who said that he always tried to live his life with the premise, the other one could be right. So I kind of feel that in that movie too, because the two characters, or what the two characters are missing the most is just the understanding for the other one. So I think it's something we should all focus more on in our lives these days. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
could you explain the philosophy behind that?
Is always expect that your opponent could be right. And don't focus so much on your own opinion.
Right.
Just try to empathize.
Well, I think that's a lesson of the characters, isn't it? There's a sort of, especially for Liam, that he needs to go on a bit of a journey to understanding that actually maybe, you know, she has a point. Actually, to grow as a person, you need to have a bit of humility and self-awareness to be like, you know, I mean, I just got married, and one of my best man had given a speech where he was talking about one of the key things to sustaining a marriage is admitting when you're wrong, you know? And I think that's part of what this movie is. It deals with real relationships with all, you know, with all its flaws. So yeah, I think that's absolutely applicable to the movie.
Yeah, it's a good lesson for life, that as well, actually.
Absolutely. So what are your plans for the future? Is there anything you can already talk about?
Well, we, you know, in terms of what we're doing
next after this film.
Next, what, separately or together, or? Well, I mean, Phil's writing many scripts at the moment. I'm also writing as well a black comedy at the moment, so it's slightly different from this sort of genre. And yeah, we've got something else that's sort of cooking as well in the background. But kind of want to keep things a little bit close to my chest before, you know, once it's ready, then I think we'll make an announcement. Yeah.
I'm working. My main project right now is I'm working on a movie called Chrononauts, which is an adaptation of an amazing graphic novel by Mark Millar, who's a Scottish icon and comic book superstar. He created Kingsman, Kick-Ass, Wanted, many did some incredible work for Marvel, and is just an extraordinary person to it's a real honor to be adapting one of his graphic novels, and that's for Universal, and Chris Morgan is producing it, who's the producer and writer and a guru of the Fast and the Furious franchise. So it's a really great mixture of incredible people to be collaborating with. So that's my main focus at the moment.
Okay, really looking forward to see all of it. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you for the interview, and good luck with the film.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you for seeing it as well.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words. So nice to meet you.